So imagine this, a wedding so secret, even the paparazzi were left chasing ghosts. But when that veil finally dropped, it wasn't flowers flying through the air. It was hands. Because apparently, peace, love, and happily ever after don't exist in the Harris household anymore. Yes, we're talking about Tiny's private wedding. The one she allegedly tried to keep far away from cameras until King Harris, her own son, stormed in like a reality show villain who missed his cue. Witnesses claim he snapped mid-ceremony, screaming, "You're not my mom," before lunging at the groom in a scene that made love and hip-hop look like Sunday school. Now, this isn't your typical celebrity family drama. This is dynasty-level chaos. The kind of story that makes the Kardashians look like a yoga retreat. Because behind the silk gowns and fake smiles, something real broke loose. And it wasn't just the champagne glass. So buckle up, 'cause what went down in that chapel wasn't a wedding. It was a declaration of war wrapped in wedding vows. And tonight we're exposing every hidden crack behind Tiny's happily never after. Welcome to Expose Express, where the truth always shows up uninvited. Let's rewind. Because before the chaos, before the screaming, before King Harris nearly turned a luxury ceremony into a full-blown WWE main event, there was a secret so carefully hidden that even T.I.'s own security allegedly didn't know what Tiny was planning. For months, whispers had been floating around Atlanta like perfume, sweet but strong enough to make people choke. Rumors that Tiny had quietly moved on. Some said it was just business meetings. Others swore she was seen ring shopping in Buckhead. And in true Atlanta fashion, everyone smiled like they didn't know. While their group chats were on fire now. If you know the Harris family, you know drama doesn't walk, it moonwalks with diamonds on. King Harris, the couple's son, has been out here trying to carve his name in the rap game, fighting critics, fans, and sometimes even his own parents' shadows. And that shadow, it's massive. We're talking Grammy plaques, reality shows, and social media scrutiny thicker than Georgia humidity. So when the exclusive invite-only wedding popped off, King wasn't just uninvited, he was unprepared. According to several anonymous insiders, it's the ones who always find time to spill tea between two FaceTimes, Tiny allegedly told only her closest circle about the ceremony. A private mansion, tight guest list, and absolutely no press. Which, of course, is like telling TMZ, please find me immediately. The groom. Oh, that's the mystery that had the internet flipping. A man who supposedly came into Tiny's life through business, music, management, or real estate. Depending on which gossip account you believe, some said he was quiet, reserved, mature. Others said he was the kind of man who thought discretion was a hobby. But one thing's clear, he wasn't ready for the Harris bloodline. Because when King found out about this so-called new chapter, it was like lighting a match in a fireworks factory. One insider claims he saw the photos first, Tiny in a shimmering dress, standing beside a man who wasn't his father. Another claims a cousin spilled the beans over a text that read, "Auntie Dunn tied the knot." Either way, King allegedly lost it. The type of emotional eruption that doesn't come with a warning label by the time he arrived at the venue. Security cameras caught chaos in high definition. Guests turned their heads. Phones came out faster than a mixtape drop, and whispers filled the air. Is that King? Followed by, oh no, he didn't. Witnesses say he stormed through the entrance. No RSVP, no hesitation, and the entire room froze. Picture it. Chandeliers glowing, violins playing, and one furious 20-something yelling, "You're not my mom," across the aisle. If this wasn't the definition of a viral moment, what is? Guests tried to de-escalate, but King wasn't hearing it. He allegedly confronted the groom directly, face to face. With that same intensity we've seen in every viral clip where he's defending his family name. Except this time, it wasn't about music or street credibility. It was about loyalty. Now, people online are debating whether this was raw emotion or a strategic meltdown. Because let's be honest, in 2025, even heartbreaks come with hashtags. Some fans think King's reaction was pure pain. a son protecting the only bond he's ever known. Others claim it was clout-driven. A look at me stunt meant to stir social media sympathy. But behind that viral clip, there's something way deeper. See, Tiny and T.I.'s marriage has been on thin ice for years. Separated, reunited, back together, then apart again. They've been the blueprint for complicated love. And if Tiny was really trying to move on in peace, this wedding was her final break from the family circus. Except, peace doesn't exist when your last name is Harris. Because the same cameras that made them famous have now turned them into living, breathing clickbait. Insiders say Tiny's new husband tried to calm King down, allegedly saying something along the lines of, "I respect your family, but you need to chill." Wrong move. That's like telling a bull to relax during a matador show. According to multiple guests, King stepped forward, pushing the man back, and that's when security rushed in. People were screaming. Glasses shattered, and the violinist apparently dropped his bow mid-note. Someone's auntie fainted near the dessert table. And rumor has it one of Tiny's bridesmaids went live on Instagram during the chaos. Because of course she did. Nobody in Atlanta misses a chance to go viral within hours. Clips started leaking online. Blurry, shaky footage of King shouting, "You don't know what she's been through." And this ain't how you do, family. Flooded Twitter, TikTok, and the YouTube gossip pages faster than you could say exclusive footage. By morning, the story had exploded. Headlines read, "Tiny's wedding turns into war zone." King Harris meltdown goes viral, and T.I. family torn apart again. Even people who hadn't cared about the Harris family since the VH1 era were suddenly acting like expert analysts. And here's the kicker. T.I. himself allegedly had no idea the ceremony was even happening that day. Word is, he found out about it the same way the rest of us did, through the internet. Imagine being T.I., scrolling through your feed and seeing your son fighting your ex's new husband at her wedding. That's not trap music. That's trauma music. It's almost poetic in a twisted way. A family built on fame, privacy lost to fame, and now torn apart because of fame. Tiny wanted silence. Instead, she got trending hashtags and meme edits. King wanted love. Instead, he got labeled unstable and T.I. He's probably somewhere polishing his podcast mic, ready to drop a 3-hour motivational response about family values and respect. But this wasn't just a meltdown. This was a generational earthquake. Because what happened next would push the entire Harris family to the edge of public scrutiny once again. And this time, there's no PR team strong enough to spin it clean. The question now isn't whether the fight happened. The footage speaks for itself. But why it happened the way it did. Was this a son defending his family? Or was this a family unraveling in real time? And if you think that was wild, wait until you hear who leaked the footage. Because, trust me, that twist is going to make even the Kardashians look like amateurs at keeping secrets. By the next morning, the internet had officially lost its mind. The wedding wasn't trending because of love. It was trending because of violence. Shouting and one unforgettable line, "You're not my mom." Clips were circulating faster than TMZ could verify them. Every angle, every curse word, every blurred out guest face, all over TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. The captions read like something out of a soap opera. King Harris crashes Tiny's wedding. T.I.'s son goes off at secret ceremony. Family feud caught on camera. And the reactions. Pure digital chaos. Half the internet was siding with King, calling him a real one for standing up for his mom's legacy. The other half was dragging him like it was open season. Memes started popping up showing King storming the altar. Edited next to scenes from Love and Hip Hop, Bad Boys Club, and even Jerry Springer. One meme had him yelling at the groom with the caption, "When you realize your mom's new man ain't got a hit single." Another said, "This wedding got more plot than Zeus Network's whole lineup." But behind the memes, real tension was brewing. Insiders close to T.I. reportedly said the rapper was furious and embarrassed. Word is, he wasn't even told about the wedding, and when he saw the footage online, he allegedly went off in a private family group chat demanding answers. "You let this happen in public?" He allegedly texted. And that line alone made its way to gossip pages within hours. Meanwhile, Tiny went silent. No posts, no comments, no likes. Just a ghostly silence from a woman who had just gone viral for something. She didn't even want to be public. Now here's where it gets messy. Because it turns out someone close to the family was the one who leaked the video. Several blogs claimed it was a jealous friend who didn't get invited. But others say the footage came from a family member who was streaming the ceremony on a private account, till the internet got hold of it. That's right. The Harris wedding didn't just get crashed, it got live streamed by the Times Shade. Room and Hollywood Unlocked reposted the clips. The narrative had spun into pure mayhem. Was Tiny replacing T? Was King spiraling? Was this a PR stunt to tease a new family reality show? Everyone had a theory, and all of them were wild. Even celebrities started chiming in. Cat Williams commented under a viral clip with the line, "That boy just said what every son in Atlanta been wanting to say." Lil Duval posted, "King Harris got more drama than the BET Awards." And Baddies star Natalie Nunn dropped a cryptic message that said, "Some folks need to learn to stay out of grown people's vows." The internet couldn't get enough. Reaction channels on YouTube were dissecting every frame, debating whether Tiny's tears were real or strategic. TikTok creators started doing dramatic reenactments. And just like that, a private ceremony had turned into the most watched unintentional episode of reality TV in 2025. But here's the kicker. That's exactly what Tiny didn't want. Sources say she'd planned this ceremony to escape the chaos, to finally have something that wasn't filmed, edited, or turned into clickbait. She wanted to start fresh with someone she trusted, someone outside the fame bubble. But in trying to keep it secret, she accidentally created the biggest headline of her life. And the groom. Oh, the poor man. His name, still unconfirmed officially, was suddenly being dragged through the mud. People found his old Instagram, screenshots of his comments on Tiny's posts, and even his LinkedIn got turned into a meme. Someone edited his photo next to a caption that read, "The most hated man in Atlanta." Within 24 hours, he shut down his social media. Because when you marry into a family as public as the Harrises, you're not just saying "I do," you're saying "I'm ready for the smoke." Meanwhile, King was out there living his truth or his rage depending on who you asked. He went live later that night, visibly upset, ranting about fake people and keeping it real when everyone else playing roles. He didn't mention Tiny by name, but the tone said everything. It was the kind of live that ends up in every gossip compilation within minutes. At one point, said, "Don't play with my mom's name. Don't play with my family." Then he paused, shook his head, and added, "Y'all think y'all know what's going on? Y'all don't know half of it." That line alone sent fans spiraling. What did he mean? Was there more to the story? Was this wedding hiding something even bigger? Bloggers and gossip sleuths started digging. Some claimed Tiny had been planning the ceremony for months behind T.I.'s back. Others said King found out about the new husband's criminal past. It's a rumor that hasn't been confirmed, but definitely fueled the flames. And while the family tried to go quiet, the internet did what it always does, turn drama into profit. Reaction videos, podcasts, and fake inside sources flooded the timeline. Even local Atlanta DJs started joking on the radio about the wedding that ended faster than a baddies reunion. But beneath all the noise, one thing was clear. Something had snapped inside King that night. This wasn't just about a wedding. This was about identity, loyalty, and the uncomfortable truth of being born into fame. He grew up watching his parents' love and pain play out on national TV. He watched their marriage crumble, patch up, then crumble again. He watched tabloids paint his mom as the victim one day and the villain the next. And now, when she finally tried to write a new chapter, he couldn't handle it. It's that generational wound, the one nobody posts about. When your parents' relationship becomes a storyline, how do you separate family from fame? So when King shouted, "You're not my mom," it wasn't about biology. It was about betrayal, confusion, and watching his family become entertainment for everyone but him. And the saddest part, Everyone watching thought it was funny. That's the dark side of viral culture. Pain gets clapped for. Trauma gets turned into content, and real emotion becomes another meme template by the end of the week. Everyone had chosen sides, made edits, and moved on to the next scandal. But for the Harrises, the fire had just started. Because once that footage leaked, the damage wasn't just online, it was inside the family itself. Tiny wasn't just heartbroken. She was humiliated. I wasn't just angry. He was plotting a response. And King. He was about to disappear from social media, but not before dropping one final cryptic message. Y'all don't even know what's coming next. And that's when the real story began to twist. Because what's next wasn't just another argument. It was a full-blown family war in the days following the explosion at Tiny's private wedding. The entire Harris family went into what fans call celebrity lockdown. No new posts, no appearances, just radio silence. Which in Hollywood terms means one thing. Something even messier is brewing behind closed doors. But silence doesn't stop speculation. It feeds it. And the internet had officially turned this scandal into a full-time investigation. Reddit threads were mapping out timelines. YouTube channels were decoding body language from the leaked footage. And one viral tweet summed it up perfectly. The Harrises don't need a reality show, they need a crime scene unit. And they weren't wrong. Because just when people thought it couldn't get worse, a new clip dropped, the extended version. The part no one saw in the full footage, King can be heard shouting, "You lied to us. You lied to everybody," before turning to a woman off camera, possibly Tiny's friend or cousin, and yelling, "You let her do this?" It wasn't just a random outburst, it was heartbreak on display. His voice cracked mid-sentence, and for the first time, people stopped laughing. The memes slowed down. Even the gossip blogs started using softer headlines like "King Harris's pain runs deep." It was the internet's favorite plot twist - empathy. Meanwhile, T.I. had finally broken his silence. Not through a press conference, not through a post, but through a live performance. At a recent event, he stopped mid-song and told the crowd, "Family don't always agree, but family don't fall apart in public." That's where the world gets confused. The crowd cheered. But the message was clear. He was embarrassed, hurt, and ready to reclaim control of the narrative. Still, that didn't stop the online circus. Because every time someone from the Harris family tried to take the high road, the internet repaved it into a gossip freeway. Fans started dissecting Tiny's motives, asking, why the secrecy? Why the rush? Some claimed it was a rebound wedding. Others believed it was a power move away to quietly reclaim her independence after years of being T.I.'s wife instead of Tiny. The Grammy-winning artist, the entrepreneur, the woman who held an empire together. But King's public meltdown had overshadowed it all. The beautiful dress, the flowers, the vows forgotten, replaced by one viral clip that made the entire event look like a Zeus network. Reunion special. Even industry insiders were privately whispering about damage control. PR teams were reportedly calling each other, trying to get ahead of the narrative. Tiny's team wanted to emphasize her privacy. T.I.'s wanted to protect his image. And King's. They wanted him to go dark until things cooled off. But if you know King Harris, cooling off isn't exactly his brand. Just a week after the incident, he was spotted in a studio session. No entourage, no social media updates, just pure energy. Rumor has it he recorded a song inspired by the chaos. Lines like "fake smiles in real places" and "love ain't love when cameras flash" started circulating online from an alleged leak. And fans instantly knew what it was about. The moment that track snippet hit the internet, everything changed again. King went from spoiled celebrity kid to hurt son with a message. People started calling it his redemption arc. Even former critics were saying, at least he's channeling the pain into art. Meanwhile, Tiny's new husband, remember him? Had officially vanished from public view. No one knew if they were still together, if the marriage even lasted beyond the first week, or if lawyers were already involved. Some insiders claimed Tiny was taking space to think. Others whispered she felt betrayed by how fast everything spiraled. And T.I., the man known for never staying silent during controversy, suddenly looked tired. At an event in Miami, when asked about the situation, he simply said, "Families heal. But healing don't trend, so y'all won't see it." That line hit differently. Because he wasn't wrong, social media doesn't care about resolution. It feeds on chaos. The same people who laughed at King's breakdown were now pretending to be therapists in the comments section then. The real twist came out. A source close to the venue claimed the wedding wasn't even legally filed. Apparently, the officiant wasn't officially registered for the state of Georgia, meaning the marriage wasn't recognized. That revelation dropped like a bomb. The internet went from dragging King to saying, wait, was he right all along? Tiny's secret husband had disappeared. The marriage wasn't official, and the family's image was in shambles. What was supposed to be a private fairy tale had turned into a public autopsy of fame, loyalty, and love. But beneath all the noise, there's something poetic about how it ended. A mother chasing peace, a son chasing truth, and a father chasing redemption, all trapped in a world that doesn't let celebrities be human. Because when you grow up in a house where your life is content, love becomes performance. And heartbreak becomes ratings. Tiny reportedly broke down in private weeks later, telling a close friend, "I just wanted something for me." And that sentence right there explains everything. The wedding wasn't about replacing anyone, it was about reclaiming herself. Unfortunately, the internet doesn't do nuance. By the end of the month, the story had died down, at least publicly. The blogs moved on to the next scandal. The memes faded and King went quiet again. But the scars were real. Because fame doesn't just expose your story, it rewrites it for you. Behind the scenes, there were rumors of family therapy sessions, quiet dinners, and attempts to rebuild. T.I. was allegedly trying to bridge the gap, reminding everyone that family business don't belong to strangers. And while the Harris clan may never fully recover from this viral implosion, one thing's for sure, Atlanta will be talking about that wedding for years. In the end, Tiny's private wedding didn't just turn violent, it exposed the uncomfortable truth that no amount of fame, money, or filters can fix what's broken behind closed doors. Because sometimes, the real headline isn't the scandal itself. It's the silence that follows when everyone stops filming. And as that silence settled over the Harris empire, one question still echoed across the internet. Was this the end of the Harris dynasty, or just the beginning of its next chapter? Either way, the cameras are still rolling. And just like that, the fairy tale turned into a front-page fiasco. From hidden vows to public chaos, Tiny's private wedding became the most dramatic family scandal Atlanta's seen since reality TV learned how to press record. But before you scroll off to the next trending disaster, let's be real. This story isn't over. Because if there's one thing we've learned about the Harris family, it's this. Every time you think the drama's done, somebody drops a screenshot, a live video, or a diss track that flips the whole narrative upside down. So go ahead and hit that like button like it owes you money. 'Cause we're only scratching the surface of this saga. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was King defending his family, or just losing control in public? Was Tiny reclaiming her peace, or secretly sending a message to T.I.? And who really leaked that footage? Somebody inside that circle hit record. And trust me, the internet's gonna find out who. Make sure you subscribe to stay locked in. 'Cause here at Expose Express, we don't do surface gossip. We dig until the truth bites back. The scandals never sleep, and neither do we. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next meltdown, the next exclusive leak, or the next celebrity who swears they're done with drama, right before causing more of it. This is the world where peace is a rumor, privacy is a luxury, and love stories come with bodyguards and NDAs. I'm your host, signing off from Expose Express, where the truth never whispers, it screams. Stay tuned, stay bold, and remember, in this game, every secret eventually leaks.